If you consider moving some of your assets and operations to the cloud and would like to assess your security posture and risk based on MITRE attack framework, this video is for you. The video is inspired by Justin Henderson from HNA, which encourages all of us to give back into the community. So Justin, this is my pay forward to the cybersecurity community. What I'm going to discuss is a different angle of the MITRE attack framework, specifically the cloud-related techniques and how you practically can evaluate your security posture when moving to the cloud. So let's take a look. Many of you are familiar with the MITRE attack enterprise metrics. This includes all tactics and techniques relevant for both on-prem and cloud solutions, Windows, Linux, and other attack surfaces. But not everyone is aware of the MITRE sub-matrices. For example, I can look under Enterprise only on techniques that are relevant for Windows, Mac OS, and as you can see here, also only the threats that are relevant for the cloud. I can even go further and pick up a specific cloud solution like Office 365. And as you can see, there are much less relevant techniques when I focus on specific solution. Now we have understanding of what is the threat landscape associated with our specific cloud deployment. That's great. We need to start running a gap analysis and compare the specific security controls we have in place before moving to the cloud to the new additional security controls that we will need to add. Now, this is not easy because the market speaks the Gartner language and the threat landscape is speaking the MITRE language. So how do we map the specific solutions out there to the actual threats, tactics, techniques, and controls? Well, I've tried to do that, and let's see what I got. From here, I can jump into the Attack Navigator. Attack Navigator will allow us to create a heat map based on the specific techniques that we saw earlier. I can simply create a new layer. In this case, I want to use enterprise because cloud is part of the enterprise metrics, but there are also matrices for mobile and ICS. You see here, we're getting the full framework. What I can do now is I can filter down, remove all the operating systems and other non-relevant cloud solutions, and I get this specific relevant attack surface. I already created a map. So if I want to upload the map, I can go into a new tab and upload. In this case, it's a simulation of a customer security posture as far as it goes with Office 365. And you can see here the legend, some of the controls support some of the techniques, and there are some controls that are missing. Now let's look at the market solutions. Now you can do that against specific vendor. You can use other global research companies than Gartner, and you can use it when you evaluate new technology against their published capabilities. But the idea is the same. Looking at a specific category, for example, CASB, and finding which one of the controls within CASB related to the mitigations in question. I started with a simple Excel sheet and enumerated all the mitigations identified by the MITRE attack framework. Next, I looked at the specific tactics and techniques that are relevant only to the narrowed MITRE Office 365 metrics, and mapped each and one of them to the mitigations based on MITRE's correlation. Please note that some of the mitigations could be as simple as disabling a feature from Office 365, for example, to prevent Office application startup, from emails to reduce the risk for attacks using Outlook forms or Outlook Office 365 add-ins. You can simply disable or remove features on your Office 365 settings. In addition, I can get a better understanding of how many techniques each and every mitigation is related to. This is not an exact science, but it gives you a good understanding on where you should put your efforts within your security team. For example, you see the MFA is one of the mitigations that touches both brute force attack, stealing web session cookies, email collection, and taking over accounts. You might have some of those security policies in place, and you might need to add some new technologies to better support those mitigations. So now you have a better understanding of what are the mitigations related to adding Office 365 service to your organizations. They might be similar to the ones you have today with your on-prem exchange, or they might need some additional controls. Cloud access security brokers are cloud-based security policy enforcement points that could be relevant for the mitigation on Office 365 attacks. Other cloud-based security solutions include Secure Access Service Edge, or SASE, that is a new category emerged mostly related to COVID-19 and working from home. Cloud Workload Protection Platform to help protect your public-facing server workloads, containers, and so on. Cloud Security Posture Management to help organizations communicate with multi-cloud platforms via a single pane of glass. In any case, I encourage everyone to run through this same exercise I just explained in order to leverage services you already have now and modify them in order to support your cloud solutions. Identify services that are missing and look for relevant technologies. And finally, it can help your red team to validate your security controls.